I can almost bet with 100% certainty that at one point, if you've ever raised chickens before, that you will stumble across a scene like this. You just wake up in the morning, not really in the morning, just go out there in the afternoon. And it's been a long day, right? You're just looking forward, seeing what the evening has to offer. And you go out there and you see a pile of feathers, or maybe a dead chicken, or something along those lines. And trust me, I've been there too. Today I'm going to show you how you can know what's killing your chickens and how to solve that problem. Because if you're solving the problem for the wrong predator, you're just opening up the gates for the other predators. It's not going to leave them affected at all. So, without any further ado, let's get into this. And also, I'm also currently dealing with a bobcat issue, so I'm going to share with you my plans at the end of this video, how to tackle that issue, because legally we can't get rid of them without some without some professional coming on here. So we'll see. Now, the most common first predator that people deal with isn't usually a big deal, and that, my friends, is going to be the red-tailed hawk or the golden eagle. Golden eagles are a bit bigger of a deal, but red-tailed hawks aren't. Just birds of prey in general are really annoying to deal with, because yes, you can't legally get rid of them. They're all protected under law in all 50 states, and probably if you're not even in America, then they're probably still protected because they're like that type of animal. So there is a couple things you can still do to help protect your chickens from these little idiots that want to come out there and take away your chickens. First of all, the obvious one is cover up your yard. And as you guys can see, we don't have a cover over here. The reason? Well, because the chicken coop is a bit too high. This chicken coop is roughly 15 feet at its peak from the ground level. If it's sitting on ground, if it's sitting on an even ground, which as you can see it's not, we can't really do that. But if you're moving with a much smaller chicken coop, like a lot of people, if you buy your first chicken coop from like the Tractor Supply, like the $400 ones, you can probably just throw on a cover on the top of it. But most importantly is having a mobile chicken coop, and that's why I always recommend these for beginners. They cost a little bit of money, or you can just build one yourself for about the same amount of money. Because with that being said, they're really nice and durable like that. I can't rip this door off. It would have been hilarious if I actually did, though. That would destroy my point. But as you can see, there's wheels down there. This is going to help move it away from that red-tailed hawk. But usually you will find feathers and at least 80% of a chicken remaining. In fact, most of the times you're usually out there in time, because the chickens react like that to try to scare it off. And also, if you just scare it off or just sit out there, you're probably going to get rid of like 80% of the problems for a while anyway. Now, next up, we got another infamous issue that we've had on our farm as well. And trust me, if you live anywhere near woods, even if there's any woods within like a 20-25 mile radius from your house, you're going to deal with these guys. In fact, I've seen these guys in cities before. They're called foxes, and trust me, you've probably seen at least one in your life. But they're little stealthy animals. They're pretty small as well. So sometimes it's either an easy thing for them to get a whole chicken, or it could be a whole struggle. And I've saved numerous chickens from foxes. And the reason is because foxes usually try to go for that big kill right there at that site. They want to make sure everything is gone, so they could either A, go back later and go pick up some more chickens, or B, just wipe everything out and see what all they could bring, especially in the summer months and late spring months, because that's when they have their young ones to feed. And as you probably assume, they can definitely be a big pain to feed. So that is exactly why, well, it's kind of hard to get rid of them. But of course, you could just build the fence stronger. But I think what a lot of people do, they underestimate how foxes actually get in. You could have the most strong and secure fence, but if there's nothing going at least 6 or 7 inches underground, then it's still going to get in there. If you've watched any hunting fox videos before, you've obviously noticed that the foxes can easily dig underneath the fences and immediately go in there. It's just an easy entrance. This can also open the door wide up for other smaller animals like raccoons and weasels and possums and stuff like that to get in there and take away your chickens, which is quite unfortunate. But the simple solution is to be out there. They don't like humans. I've ran into them in the field, and trust me, they run away really quickly when they see humans. They're only like 15-20 pounds at most, and usually foxes are easily scared. Now, next up, we got a little bit of a 2-in-1, of course. We're going to talk about minks and fisher cats. I've not had any experience with either of those, and I'm hoping and praying that we never have experience with either of those as well. These guys, their attack methods are very, very brutal. At least with the foxes, they wipe everything out quickly. But with these guys, they tend to just slaughter everything in like a 5-foot distance from them. Like literally everyone gets wiped out. They don't even take a lot. Like they might take 1 chicken at most, maybe 2 if they're feeling a little bit extra hungry for that KFC. But guys, I don't know why these guys don't just like take 1 and just leave. These guys usually strike at night, and if you live near the water, it's best to keep them away because these animals love hiding out in the water. We do have a stream that runs on the back edge of our property, about maybe half a mile from where I'm currently walking over here. When you go down there, there's definitely some stuff down there that hangs out, like snapping turtles, but most importantly, minks, and all those other different predators down there. Minks and fisher cats are the worst ones that come out from over there to try to take away your chickens. So guys, if you notice that just everybody dies in one night, it's probably one of these 2. And guys, they will find a way to get into your chicken coop regardless. The easy thing to do is move them away from water. And of course, the most important one, make sure your chicken coop is strong and your chicken yard is strong, because these guys will be like the next ones we're talking about. Now, raccoons are a really interesting one because guys, I've actually had a lot of experience with raccoons. My first time ever seeing a raccoon in real life, I'm not joking, was in 2020. After that, I didn't see any of them until the big 2024. And then, of course, the curse of raccoons decided to move into my life. They got the trash can back in late May. I was really mad, of course. But now they went after the chickens. One night at around 8:30 p.m. back in June, they got my chicken Rogue. But Rogue survived because they grabbed her by the tail. Now, I see these guys typically like going for the legs of chickens and for their heads. They'll just leave everything else behind because they're lazy like that. But also, what's even more important is they're opportunistic animals. So they'll only take the chickens if they see the opportunity. But if they see that your chicken feed's just lying around out there, they're gonna take that opportunity. In fact, I'm gonna say about an 80% chance tonight that if I go out to the glass sliding door that goes out to my dog yard tonight, right over there, can't really tell, but if I go out there tonight and I look, and even just with the lights on, gently open up that door, I will see a pair of eyes staring back at me. It's best to scare them away. And guys, if you have a hunting license, these guys can get rid of. Same thing with fox and coyotes as well. Now, coyotes are a bigger issue than a lot of the ones I've talked about. Like with foxes, they'll usually slaughter 4 to 6 at a time. With coyotes, double that. In fact, triple that. In fact, make it the whole flock sometimes. We literally left for a 1.5 hour lunch with some family back in July 2023. I've told you this story a lot, but if you're brand new here, you might not know what I'm talking about. I came back home, my farm flock numbers went from 18 to 6, and just that. My rooster was gone, some of my prized hens were gone, like my chicken, what's her name, crowbird was gone, but thankfully 6 were left. And then the coyote struck like a day later, got another one, and then we just threw the rest of them in the pet flock, and we went up from 7 to 12, just like that. And then we went up to 13 recently, and now we're down to 10 because Falcon died back in late July due to a coyote, and Abs and Fluffball died Sunday night. So 2 days ago, due to some idiot bobcat, which I'm going to talk about next. But coyotes are a bit more of a pain to deal with because they are very, very scared little creatures. These coyotes could easily put up a fight with people like me. I'm 155 pounds, and that coyote could literally weigh about half of that. And if that coyote sees the opportunity for the chickens, but he sees me, he'll probably just go around and get the chickens instead. Unless I'm like right there, because just like the bobcats, if you're in one area, like we have 2 chicken flocks, we're down here, it's just gonna go over there and get the other chickens. And if I'm over there, it's just gonna go and get these chickens. You get the point. That's my cat, by the way, so shout out my cat. But realistically, these guys are really annoying, and they take everything from dogs, specifically small dogs. My dogs aren't my biggest concern. I have big dogs here. We have German Shepherds, Great Danes, Pitbulls. Here we have 3 dogs. They're not my biggest concern, but obviously I wouldn't trust them fighting out with a pack of coyotes. But the chickens, most importantly poultry, they love poultry, guys. Those coyotes will take poultry at any shot they get. So, and they'll usually wipe out everything and leave no evidence behind. Sometimes though, you'll notice that they do leave a couple bodies behind, but that's just because they're gonna come back and get them later. like last July. They left my duck behind, and I think they left 2 farm flock bodies behind that we buried in the woods. And hopefully there's some trees growing over there right now for a sign that they're doing great right now. But of course, it's really, really annoying that yes, these guys can come over there, but the best thing you can do is scare them off. Because unless you're like not right in front of them, they're not gonna go. That coyote didn't run that was on the stone wall. 80-pound coyote, by the way, didn't run until I was 15, 20 feet from it. He did not run. And then eventually he took off with the chicken, of course, because, well, he already got his meal. He could take it off because those coyotes are built really strong and they will take any opportunity they get, of course, which is ridiculously annoying, but it kind of has to happen sometimes. But best shot, you gotta scare them off or hunt them or just build your chicken yard strong, like what I've said in these videos. And now we go on to my personal least favorite on this list, bobcats. These guys, they don't kill all the chickens in one take. They just take one at a time. So the flock slowly loses count. And they will sometimes leave behind little to no feathers, but it's very obvious because for whatever reason, they have to leave a clump of feathers right where the chicken died. So this chicken right here, she passed away last night because of this moronic bobcat. She died right there. And you see clumps of feathers everywhere. That's because she's re-gripping, or he, I don't know what the bobcat is. Re-gripping, let's just say they're re-gripping the body of the chicken. It's really annoying. And as I said with the coyotes, I could be at either flock, it's just gonna target the next one. That's why I targeted the pet flock. Because we was doing work on this barn back here. We were working on the inside, we're working with the baby chickens. Yes, we got some baby chickens in there. Because we're doing work there, it's just gonna keep it away from this area. It's gonna go to another area. Bobcats are very lazy animals, but they're really good at calculating. So the best shot, give them a ton of scares to scare them off. You can't legally shoot them, but what you can easily do is give them a scare. You can't shoot them, of course. That's gonna either get you like a $1,000 fine at the very least, with additional implications as well from other charges. So don't do it, guys. I'm just saying, don't do it. But always, and I mean always, try to scare it off. And try to come really close to it because they're not that big. They're like 20 pounds at most. And they'll run away as soon as they see you. So yeah, it's quite interesting. If you lost any chickens and this video still didn't help you, just comment down below what signs you saw, and I'll probably do my best to tell you about what was most likely to kill it. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, don't forget to go down below and click that sub button. We're trying to reach 4K very soon. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to click the playlist on the screen right now. Chickens, there's 200 videos with both my ducks and my chickens. Rest in peace, all my ducks, though they're gone now. But in a couple years, I'm gonna go be getting some more. So I'll see you guys in the next one, though. Bye. My cat.